What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome.
Same old, same old. How we doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It was a long week. Friday. We're on Friday. We don't normally do this on
We're on
Fridays. We're
Friday,
usually
and I didn't think I was going to make it to Wednesday.
well. That's a victory then,
Yeah,
right?
it's a victory. I had a rough week myself. I was telling you earlier, I had this really fucking gnarly rash that I thought I got from an allergic reaction. Rash sounds nasty. It was an allergic reaction, which I thought I got from yard work because I was out in the doing yard work for like 5 hours last Saturday. And I woke up Sunday and I had a little rash around I thought it was heat rash, like around my elbows and stuff on my wrists. That's where I usually get them. So I thought I hit some I don't know, they don't have scorpion weed out here, but like poison oak or poison ivy or something like that. But it just kept lingering until Monday morning. I had it all over my chest, my legs, my arms, the tops of my hands, and I had to go to urgent care at 5 a.m. 24-hour urgent care, and he gave me a big old shot of steroids, and then he put me on steroids. 5 days later, it was just as bad, if not worse, and it was spreading up my leg. And then I got on more steroids, even stronger. 5 days later, it's still there, strong as fuck. So I went to my doctor. He got me on a bunch of medicine. I probably can't take steroids anymore.
I don't think they'll work on you anymore.
And then I was laying in bed. I came home early because I couldn't take it no more, and I realized, I only itch when I'm in bed. This whole time I thought it was from the yard. I wasn't even thinking like that. I only itch when I'm in bed. And I realized my wife had bought some new sheets that Saturday, and she put them on that Sunday, or that Saturday. Washed them, of course. And she got them off TikTok. So I put two and two together like a dummy. I should have before, but I wasn't thinking like that. And took the sheets off, and now I'm getting a little better. Getting some sleep.
Well, that's good.
And I don't want to rip my skin off. I was crawling out of my own skin. Let's put it that way. And I looked like I had like some weird disease.
Did you get the chicken pox when you were a kid?
I did.
You did, yeah. Same here. So did you get them bad?
I think so. I think there were 7 of us. I think we all had it at once.
Oh, it just ran right through your freaking family. Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. Did you ever see that South Park episode where they try to get, the kids to get them from each other? So they did that shit when we were kids, man. Like,
yeah, they used to do that when I was a kid too.
Let's come over and play.
Get it. Let's get it over with.
Exactly.
Go play with your little Jimmy. He's got the pox.
Yeah. I was miserable. That was horrible, and I remember that. That's a profound memory, and I'm not jealous of that at all, brother.
Yeah.
I'm drinking this week. It was a long week. Fridays are long for me.
You deserve it. So. I'm drinking too. Some water.
When Christine gets home, we're gonna go across the street to Johnny B's, and I'm gonna have like 2 more.
I must be lucky to walk across the street. Do you guys still?
To Johnny B's.
Guys still have that coin? That.
Yeah, the Coin House.
Coin House, yeah.
That's also right across the
still there, still rocking.
And they've got Cali Creamer with nitro on tap over there. It's lovely.
I haven't had that forever.
Yeah, dude, that's like crack to me. I can't. That's too much, I
haven't drank too much beer. My favorite beer is out right now. It's called Waldo's. It's Lagunitas. Uh-huh. They put it out every year around April 20th, a little bit before, a little bit after. It's a triple IPA. Oh, ooh. It's absolutely fucking delicious.
Yeah. Can't do it anymore, dude. I would feel that starting to bubble in my stomach with the first sip.
It's different, though. It's not what you think it is. It's sweet. It's heavy. You only need to drink one. You're not going to get two. It's the perfect beer. Perfect beer. Cool. Find it, drink it. How was your week?
I will. My week, it was just busy. My check engine light came on my work van yesterday. That's kind of problematic. But other than that, watching the economy, the stock market looks like a freaking cardiogram of someone having a heart attack on the spot. Man, it's nuts. But it's funny. Did you when you were in high school, when you were a senior, did you take half a semester economics, half a semester government? Was that something that you guys did where you were
When I,
at? You don't
when I
remember?
was a
Yeah.
senior,
Yeah. Okay.
I did as little as I possibly could, and
Same. Same. But
it didn't end up paying off for me because I didn't graduate on time. So,
oh, that sucks.
and my fault.
But do you remember? Did they offer economics when you were
Yep.
so same? And I think I probably just barely passed economics, but I had a really good economics teacher. My fault, not his. And the very first day of class, he showed us like these two grids side by side, and one was of a heart patient on a cardiogram with a cardiogram, having a heart attack, and the other was a stock market in duress. And he didn't tell us which one was which. He said, you don't ever want either of them to look like this. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really matter. Like maybe it's not going like there's not big beats, there aren't big differentials, you're not moving up as high as or as fast as you want, but as long as you're not doing these steep builds and these steep dives one right after the other, you're healthy, you're not having a heart attack.
Yeah, man, it's a wild time.
Yeah, it is.
I'd love to get into it, but I don't think I could talk about this for 6 episodes.
Yeah, and we'll get around to it eventually. We've had 50 views. 50 views. I think. Now, how many of those were my kids using different aliases? I'm not exactly sure.
I don't know. But, 50 views are almost to the century mark.
You know what? Yeah, it's pretty dope. So.
That's funny.
We really don't need to. I guess we don't need to really worry about it yet, but we needed to come up with a method for me to correct my mistakes, which have been.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of shitty. Jim's mea culpas.
This episode, I call it Jim's fuck ups.
The last one is such a bad fuck up that I can't call it a mea culpa. It is. It was a crash and burn. So the first episode that we did, I think I attributed Inspected Deck's album to being a 1989 release when that's really a 1999 release. That's not such a big deal. I corrected that one. And then I really fucked up the next time when I accused Nelly of being R. Kelly, basically, and some of those horrible things that you would attribute to R. Kelly that should not have been.
I think I corrected you during that episode.
You corrected me there, but I am from the bottom of my heart. I am so fucking sorry about that.
I got an idea. For the next episode, since you accused Nelly of all those dirty, nasty things, you have
to being R. Kelly.
You have to wear a Band-Aid underneath your eye for the next episode. What do you think? I think that's a punishment.
I don't know. No, I think an apology and a correction is the best.
Oh man, come on. It's getting hot here.
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. And any more fuck ups?
My last one. Yeah. So I was telling you my favorite part out of the Bible in our last episode, and I told the long story that I said was from the Gospel of John about Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane when the Romans came, that he danced, and it was just a very beautiful moment in the Bible. And then, God, I immediately felt weird about that and went and checked it out, and it is not in the Gospel of John. It is actually not in the Bible. It's in the Acts of John, which are part of what's called the Apocrypha, and it's not really canon. So still my favorite scriptural passage about Jesus. I think it's a beautiful passage, but it's not right to say that it's from the Bible because it really is not. So there you go.
I'm glad you caught that because I definitely wouldn't.
Oh, that was confession. I'm glad I got that off my chest, man. I feel really, really good. Do I have any penance or anything, Father? I think the last time I did penance, the priest didn't even give me penance. He just said, listen, I need you to go home and write a letter to yourself. It was like he was my therapist, which is a good turn because we want to talk about therapy this episode.
Yeah. I think we need to speak a little bit on something. I guess I wouldn't call it taboo, but it's taboo to some dudes. And that is men's mental health, um,
Mm.
taking care of your brain. Um, I know for a lot of men in general, and a lot of culturally, yeah, sorry, in a lot of cultures for men, it's just not. It may they you're less of a man if you take care of that. If you speak to someone, if you get help, if you realize there's something going on that needs fixing. You know what I mean? Whether it's anger issues, whether it's stress, whether it's you just, as a man, as you know, we don't really talk about our shit. At least I went 3/4 of my life not talking about it, holding it in, um, not expressing my feelings. And that shit builds up and that leads to more traumatic shit, you know? That you're obviously not gonna, you know, it leads to more. What's the word? What am I trying to say here? It leads to more issues later on down the road. I guarantee it.
Yep.
Whether it's blood pressure, heart attack, stress. Because as men, we do have a lot on our shoulders. Not saying women don't. That's a whole nother subject. You know, I don't want to discount any of that. But for this episode, I just want to talk about, taking care of yourself as a
Well,
man, getting help, realizing when you need help, not being afraid, not thinking that you're going to be called a pussy if you go and get help. It's it's stupid, and
mm,
I know I'm better off. I don't go as much as I should, but I'm aware of it, and I do speak when I need to, and I know when something's going on that needs to be taken care of. Um,
mm.
I I don't know the statistics. Sorry, I can't speak today, but I know that a lot of suicide comes out of it, and
Mm.
I just think it's something that we need to be
When,
talking about.
when you speak about culture, one of the biggest cultures that makes it difficult for certain people to come out about needing mental health or seeking mental health is the military culture, because it's actually difficult policy wise, because if you want to be able to be discharged with your full retirement and all that other stuff to get your good discharge and whatnot, sometimes if you end up with a type of a psychological condition that the army thinks is not, or the military doesn't think is suitable for their service, you can get less than honorable discharge, or at least that's how it had been in the past. I think that they've done a lot of work on that recently, but to make that point is my dad. My dad, he Vietnam vet. This would be my father. I'll refer to both my father and my stepfather as dad, because they both raised me, and that's what I call each of them. So it can get confusing. But my father, he was in Vietnam and saw some pretty shitty stuff.
I bet.
The brief 6 month period of time that he was there, he saw some shitty stuff, including his best friend there being killed, and yet that's 18 years old. I can't get my head around that, but you know I got hit by a car when I was in the 8th grade. I carried that shit on, I remembered that like it was a scene out of a movie for, my whole childhood, all the way until my young adult life. So I know that kind of stuff plays. There's no way, if you don't have a mechanism, if you don't have tools to help you with that, that stuff is going to play on a loop. And it was just recently, when the mobile Vietnam Memorial came through El Cajon this last time. My dad and my uncle invited us to go, which is something weird because never talked about Vietnam and stuff like that. Not for most of my life. That was just something that wasn't discussed. And now it's like a different culture. They go to reunions and these kinds of things. But that night while we were there, he told me he was in therapy, and I don't think I had ever broached the subject with him. And I think the only time he had ever been in therapy was family therapy, when he was having a hard time with my brother, when he was young. So I don't think that my dad was ever of the opinion that therapy was useful or whatnot. But he told me he was in therapy, and I thought I thought that's great, and I just asked him a little bit more, like, what's going on, He said, well, basically, I've been going back to Vietnam every night for my whole life. I'm like, oh my, I'm like, wait, I'm like, no, I think I asked him, I said, I said, do you still have dreams? He said, I was having a hard time sleeping. And I said, do you still have dreams? And he says, I go back to Vietnam every night, son. I've been doing that for my whole life. And that just kind of blew my mind. But the dude, I mean, you're never too old. This is the kind of the point that I'm trying to make. As well as to show how that military culture can kind of sometimes, because in his mind, well, I at least got to come home from Vietnam. What the fuck do I get to go to a therapist for? What right do I have to act like I'm not fucking perfectly okay because my buddy's not? That kind of shit. And he got, even in his 70s, he was able to finally, I'm sure with a little bit of help from my stepmom, recognize that maybe you need to talk to somebody about that. I think he actually was spoken to by his pastor as well, who somehow, God bless the man, broke that little, hey, that's, Ken, no, look, you need to go and talk to somebody about this. We could find you somebody, let's go look together, that kind of thing. And now he's in therapy, and what a life changer, it's like totally changed his life, I believe, at least last time we talked about it, in the 2-3 years since he's been going. So.
Yeah, it works. I mean, it can be daunting at times trying to find a therapist. I mean, again, I'm no expert on it, but I know when I've tried, I've had some issues in the past. And I just know, just talking to someone in general, even if it's not a therapist, a counselor, there's so many resources out there. Because it's, you get a lot on your shoulders, whether you're, especially if you're like, you have everything on your shoulders. See, I'm lucky. My wife works. I don't have all the pressures on my shoulders, but there's been times where I felt like it. You know what I mean? And you have a job that is very demanding. It's just, I don't know. Guys just don't think about it like that. And I think that should change.
They don't. Well, more guys are now. Obviously, we're talking about it. I've been in therapy. You've been in therapy. I don't know about you, but my experience as a child with therapy really kind of also planted a bad seed, because I didn't think that therapy in the 1980s and 90s, with my mom and with myself and our family going, and with my experience seeing how, Christine, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, her family and their family therapist, it was just, it wasn't shady, but I just didn't think that some of it was the best practices. They were in there trying to help you figure out what was wrong with yourself and solve your problem in your mind so that you can go on and be something different later, rather than giving you like practical tools to help you with the psychological issues that you're going through, which is, to me, and I'll tell you who clued me in on that. It was in 2010 when Ron Artest won his championship with the LA Lakers, and the first thing that he did after sinking a 3-point shot to seal that championship against the freaking Celtics. Well, I mean, this dude's a hero of heroes in this moment, right? And the first thing he does is he thanks his doctor. He's like, I want to thank my doctor, my psychiatrist. He quickly cleared that up. Said, she's been helping me work through some stress issues and this and that. And he just like, wow, most people, I want to thank my wife and my kids at home. I want to thank the coach for believing in me. I want to thank God, all of this other stuff. But, and he went on to say that she had met with him before the series started to help him to relax and to give him some basic tools so that he wasn't overwhelmed by the experience that he was having, which is something that if anyone who Artest is, Ron Artest he's now Meta World Peace. But if anybody remembers that dude back from his Pacer days, I know, but that guy had some anger issues, for sure had some anger issues. Yeah, I mean, come on. and the therapy helped him, and he thanked, when in a world when, in professional sports there's a lot of ego, a lot of machismo up there, he thanked his therapist, and that in that moment, because he talked about it as tools too, instead of like, you didn't say, yeah, my shrink, like reworked my brain and now I'm a different person, all that kind of stuff. Because I think that's bullshit, to be completely honest. Maybe it's not. Maybe for some people, you need that kind of advanced therapy. I don't know if in my experience that was very helpful, and my experience would be watching my mom go through therapy, and my mom had like medical issues and Munchausen syndrome and really some shady stuff. And I watched therapists give her excuses instead of tools to help her with, what her issues were. Ron Artest changed the way that I thought about that, so that when my wife told me when I was having anger issues that it was time for me to go and talk to somebody, or she would have to think about doing other things, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I get it. I got to go. And I went with that idea, that this is what I need. And I taught, look, I'm having these anger moments, and boom, such practical advice. I can't even tell you, like one was to squeeze an ice cube, when I feel like I'm going to, tear my daughter's door down because she slammed it in my face. Squeeze an ice cube, do it for 30 seconds. Your brain will rewire. The pain from your hand will actually send the signals to your brain to rewire it.
I tried that.
Hold on to that fight or flight anymore. My younger daughter, Sophie, would start, she see me getting a little worked up. She'd go grab an ice cube and shove it in my hand and hold it really tight, But that was a great practical tool. And then other tools about, how to use things like meditation and stuff like that to bring it down,
Yeah, I didn't start off that way. I didn't want to go. But I mean, the more and more I gave into it, the easier and easier it got to talk and speak and, let things out. And, it's good to be able to vent to someone you don't know. Yeah.
We have 50 viewers, so we're venting. Yeah, we have a lot of people venting.
Yeah, 50 people we probably do know.
50 people split between 4 episodes.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't even expect five people to watch it, but yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say, 100% to say on it. I just think that I want to be known that it's there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it. If anything, it'll change your life. If you're going down a path that is leading you into a destructive place, whether it's with anger or, I mean, I've had points in my life where I just drink just to freaking, so I wouldn't have to even think about it. Drugs, so I wouldn't have to think about it. Therapy is good, man. I mean, unless of course you're to a point where you need serious help, AA, NA, whatever. But
no,
therapy or with the AA and the NA, it'd be be perfect.
There are some people whose brain is wired in such a way that they need more assistance from therapy than others. But I mean, just about anybody can benefit from it, Jason. And then the other thing is, okay, so maybe you've never considered it before or anything like that. It's a hard thing to get yourself to go and pursue. Like, what do I do? Do I like look up therapists on my phone? Do I do all, and that kind of thing? Talk to a friend. It's cool, dude. That's the other thing, dudes. You should be able to talk to each other. If you're in crisis, don't like look at me and be like, oh, I can't talk about this with a dude. Let me know, dude. I've been to therapy. I know the way.
And even if
I give you a number, I get you a number.
If you work for some of these bigger corporations, they also have EAP programs, employee assistance programs. You can call; they can help you with whatever you need. Like you need a lawyer, they can help you. You need a therapist, they can help you. And a lot of times, they'll give you 5-6 free sessions to start off, to see if you like it, to see if say you go to one person, you don't like them, it's just not fitting. They give you another, and they will hook you up with that therapist. They will look it up, they will figure it out, they will get you a number, or sometimes they'll even set it up for you. So it's really easy, and no one has to know. It's I'm just saying it's a good thing. and shouldn't be ashamed of it. You know.
Yeah. When you find a good therapist, you're going to know because they're going to cut you loose and they're not going to keep on trying to bring you back to work on shit. You know, they're going to their objective is to give you the tools that you don't need to use them anymore. You already now know these tools to fix these things in your life. Go be free. You know, Christine and I have a great marriage counselor who's just like that, you know, and like on 2 occasions now she's said, okay guys, well, we're good. I don't see anything that you need to work on. These are all, you know, no marriage is perfect, but you know, you guys, your lines of communication are open in the right ways, and you seem to enjoy each other's company, and you seem to know how to solve your problems right now. So, you know, if things go a different way, give me a call. Cool. It's like, it's weird when you grew up around therapy in the 1980s and they were doing all this like weird regressive hypnotherapy shit. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Regressive hypnotherapy? You know, that was really, really big. And that's when, you know, my mom started talking about all these repressed childhood memories and things like that. And to be honest, I think my mom was honestly one of those people who probably needed the deeper, you know, psychiatric help. But it's hard, you know, to institute somebody into that, put somebody into that kind of a, you know, and when you go to a therapist, it's confidential, you know. So the only thing that we ever would know is what she would tell us. So, you know, it could have just been my mom's processing of therapy. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it was hard. It was a hard leap for me until I saw Homeboy on national TV winning his national championship and thanking his psychiatrist. That I thought
Ron
that was really
Artest
cool.
is a strange dude, man.
He is a strange guy, but
dude.
he's one of my faves. It's like Robert Horry. You know, he's kind of a strange guy too. But that, you know, when someone unexpected wins the big thing for you, you know, you're gonna always have a place in your heart for that person.
I was watching the Malice in the Palace live when that happened. If anyone doesn't know, I'm a big. I'm all Detroit everything. Fucking, yeah, I got my Red Wings on over. Where is it over there? It's way over there. You know, I'm Detroit everything. I love the Pistons, and I was watching that game, and I could not believe what I saw.
Yeah, wild. That was wild. That was wild.
I shouldn't have moved my camera like that. That was bad. Sorry, people.
No, right.
But yeah, he was an angry dude, and that
he was, dude. I mean, and he could fight too. He was throwing punches, like, you know, it's a big.
Him, Jermaine O'Neal, yeah, they're all throwing him.
He's how big is he? I think he said he was 270 pounds when he checked in to Laker camp.
Yeah, he's probably what, 6'6".
He's got to be even maybe 6'7", 6'8". He's a little bit bigger. I think he was a power forward. I'm pretty sure he was power forward.
He was. No, small forward.
No,
it's small.
Really?
I think so.
Well, yeah, I mean, he took a 3-point shot, but that doesn't. Power forwards were doing that at that point, you know.
Yeah, he was a strange dude, but
he was a strange dude.
Yeah. I think I don't know if there's much else to say on this subject, but
no, we good. Let's talk baseball. How your Tigers doing?
They're doing all right. The game was blacked out today. I don't know the score. Playing Minnesota. They're playing good, man. That first game where those that Lotto team, I don't know, from the Dodgers, I think they're called, the most expensive team on earth. They played them really good until the end, but when you're playing a video game team, I mean, it's bound to fall apart, you know. And then we went into Chicago.
I don't know, man. Washington figured out a way to kick our ass, and so did Philly. So
I think we took 2 out of 3 of the last 3. We won 5 in a row and took 2 of the last 3 series. We took the Yankees, and we beat Chicago, swept Chicago.
I watched some of those Yankee games. They're playing good, man.
We still really need a hitter. I'm sorry, we do. We need someone with a pop.
Yeah. But your defense is sick. I was watching it, and I finally saw someone commit an error. I think it was your first baseman, but it was on a hard hit ball. You know, it wasn't like it was a fluff play or anything like that. But I'm like, oh, he's human. They're human, because I don't think you did an error yet.
We got a really good defense. We got really good base running. We have no one with power for the most part, except for Torkelson, and that's sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And we have a really good bullpen. Our starting five is pretty good too.
You got a couple good starters, yeah.
Yeah.
How's Flaherty doing?
Huh?
How's Flaherty pitching
good,
so
man.
far?
He's
that's great. Got a little swagger now that he's got a championship ring, you know.
Whatever. You have like the Madden team of baseball, dude. The Dodgers are the team I build when I want to play a season on Madden.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are pretty much the same thing nowadays. Every one of your teams is so freaking have so much money.
Lakers are not that great right now. I mean, they're good, but if you take either of those players out, LeBron or Luka,
I mean that's basketball. You take any of the great ones out, that's going to change it's going to change a basketball team.
Yeah.
So your Dodgers, are they how many losses?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we were in third place last I checked, behind Padres and the Giants. But all the Padres and the Dodgers each had 10 wins after the
Giants. Why are they so good?
I don't know, but I'll believe it when they're there at the end, you know.
I last time I remember the Giants being good was Buster Posey.
I think that's accurate. And they had
they're beating the Yankees right now 5-1.
Who is the Giants? Yeah. Fuckers.
And the Dodgers already lost to the Cubs. They played at 5-10. 4-1, dude.
That sucks.
No, they don't play till 9-10. I'm just kidding. But yeah, baseball. It's nice to have a team. We went a decade with being just the worst team in the majors.
It was a long rebuild.
Go from being in the World Series like 2 out of the 4 years and being to the ALCS and then just going to a 100-loss team for like a decade. It's really sad.
I'm sorry, man.
Keeps you humble.
Yeah.
And the fact that we didn't win any of those World Series makes it even worse.
Yeah. It feels like Detroit can't support them all at the same time. There's love for all of the teams, you know, you guys love your Pistons, you love your Red Wings, you love your freaking Wolverines, you love all of your sports, but they have to come in stages, like ones and twos. And when the ones and the twos are up there, the others have got to fall off. It's just kind of
stop it.
Sorry.
Stop.
Hey, dude, you still honestly though, Michigan is a great sports state. You can't bitch. There's other people. I'm not going to bitch. You can't bitch either. You've got your national championships. You got your World Series championships. You'll get your Super Bowl eventually.
Oh God, if that happens,
yeah.
If that happens, oh my God, it should have happened last year. 15-1 or 15-2.
Yeah, I know. And Washington just wasn't all that. I don't understand that. It was a weird game, man. Weird game.
It just got us on the wrong night.
Yep. And they were on the right night. Just happens, dude. Hey, remember, Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson once, you know, and Hakeem Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis. It happens. It just happens, you know. It's just you just sometimes you show up and the other guy's got the stuff, you know. There's nothing you can do.
You got any shows coming up?
We do tomorrow. Playing tomorrow night.
Well, not you. Are you going to any shows? I know you're playing.
Oh, well, we have our season tickets for North Island Credit Union, and I know Simple Minds is coming up. They're playing.
I have to go see them. Unfortunately,
yeah, you have to go see them. You know what? No, you're gonna like them. They're good. They're a good enough band musically that you'll be cool with it. Especially the drummer is just fucking out of this world.
I got
really good.
That band. I got Takeshi Trucks band coming up. I got we're going to Wu-Tang.
Nice. When did your tickets go on sale?
Yeah,
for that yet?
I got Thievery Corporation that I'm going to.
I don't know who that is.
And I'm going to see Louis C.K.
Ah,
he's my favorite.
He's funny.
He is.
Yeah.
He's funny. And then we got some other band we're going to. Some other 80s band. I don't know who it is. Not my thing.
No, it's obviously it's my thing.
Yeah. I can't. I'm not a. It just doesn't do it for me, man.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. That's what I was listening to before we got going. Can you read that?
I'm
Dude,
so
this is a
in
great.
love with you.
Don't think that song is on this
No
album,
matter.
but I didn't know how good this album was until I was playing it while we were trying to get technical difficulties sorted
I've been
out.
listening to a lot of 50s music.
Interesting. Like when you say 50s, what are we talking? Like Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry.
Yeah,
Yeah, all
all the
right.
above.
I can get down. I can get down some
I've
Chuck
been
Berry.
listening to a lot of Motown, a lot of the Supremes,
That's good.
some Wilson Pickett.
Isn't it funny? That's kind of funny because I was just listening to this. Isn't I don't think is Al Green Motown. It's not Motown, is he?
I don't know. No, he's not. It's probably like RCA or something.
Memphis. Yeah, I think he's. I don't know. But same vibe. Last time I think it was I was listening to the Delphonics, and you were listening to something.
I don't know why I've been.
Those cycles, dude. I'll be listening to Sam Cooke at some point. You'll catch
I was
me.
listening to
This
Sam
all
Cooke
reminds
last
me.
week. Sam Cooke
Are you
is
serious?
the fucking man, dude.
Dude, it reminds me of my mom and my grandma. There's so some shit you come across just because you come across it. And said you're from Detroit, so Motown's going to be in your blood. You're going to have access to all of that. For me, growing up in California, just because I had my Mexican half of my family and they listened to oldies, that I was able to learn about Motown and that kind of shit. But not Al Green. Sam Cooke. Oh man, Sam Cooke. That reminds me of both my mom and my grandma at the same time.
Yeah, Sam Cooke is a man.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been. What's that guy's name? Like Richie Valens, Bobby Darin.
Yeah.
I have no idea why I started listening to this stuff. It just came on, and I just kept going to Platters, like Little Richard, fucking.
Platters, man. That is you're talking. Only you.
That stuff where they're just like this, and it's just like you're going to a '50s diner, dude, and doo wop, and I don't know why it's so good, so good. But then I'll put on freaking Rage Against the Machine and System of the Down right after it. So it's like I've been listening to a lot of System of the Down lately too. I've been listening. I started listening to Surge's book last week or 2 weeks ago. So I've been listening to a lot of System of the Down. I forgot how good they were.
Yeah.
So
good as fuck. Did you ever watch Nandi? Was it Nandi Bushnell or Bushell? The drummer. You're the one. I think you're playing the System of a Down.
These kids, dude, are wild. How they do it, I don't know.
I watched this. I think she was like a 14-year-old girl playing Hot for Teacher, and she did the rim shot thing at the beginning. It was crazy. Crazy.
All of them.
Yeah.
My daughter's the same way. She's not that like that, but I mean, she's in advanced. She just took her. I don't know what they're like the SATs in 8th grade, but there's a different name for them. It's something SAT. It's like PSAT, like pre.
Yeah.
That
sounds right.
They want her to go in all like of the what is it called when you're up higher in classes?
AP.
Yes. I was like, I didn't even know you were that smart, kid.
Right. So let me tell you about AP and how cool that it actually ends up being. Sophia took not she wasn't taking all AP classes like what it sounds like.
No, it's not going to be all. I think she got like 4 of them. They want her to do that.
Okay, so 4. So I think Sophie took like maybe 2, maybe one time she took 3, and not consistently all the way through. But by the time she got to college, when she had a problem and had a breakdown in her second year and had to come home and take a semester off, she had enough credits that she's still able to graduate on time. She went in with a semester's worth of credit, already towards her college,
they have this thing here where you could start getting your associate's degree in ninth grade.
Oh, that's crazy.
So
That's cool.
between 9th through 12th, you take these college classes, and by the time you graduate, you already have an associate's.
And so you could just go on and get your second 2 years, and then you've got your bachelor's degree.
Yep.
And all you have to do is pay for 2 years of college.
Yep.
All dad has to do is pay for 2
Yep.
years of college. Yeah.
She ain't paying for nothing.
Yeah. No, nothing.
She ain't paying for
Yeah, but dude, it sounds like she's going to get some money. There are going to be some people writing her checks. You know.
I don't know if she even wants to go to college. At least that's what she says now.
Yeah, but she may want to go to conservatory or something like that, music conservatory. You know, you never know, dude. You never know. If she's legit, if she's got the bug, you know, and she really feels it, that whole thing, you know, it's got to stay fun. That's the real important thing, you know. It's got to stay fun.
Yeah.
If it doesn't stay fun and it becomes a chore, then I think most people.
Isn't school a chore no matter what? When is school ever fun?
Wow. Well, yeah, dude, I actually enjoy learning. When I'm in a class that I know, like, it was something I'm interested in, something I've enrolled in, you know, like, fuck, I can't get enough. I want to know everything, you know. Like, I went and took a history of Mexico class because I was doing my just went to the local community college because I was doing my family tree, and I ran into some. I was able to trace it far enough back that I ran into some, like, you know, colonial shit, you know, and I'm like, wow, I want to know what it was like where they lived. So I went and took this history of Mexico class, which was a great fucking class. Loved it, every freaking minute of it, because it was what I wanted to learn. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like an assignment. It was like I was there. I bought something. I want to get all my fucking money's worth. You know. That
I was the direct opposite.
Yeah.
I also think I've had another weird share moment that I probably shouldn't share. I think I had ADD pretty much my childhood. Like, I could not concentrate. I just wanted to get out and do something else. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I did the bare minimum. Just to get by. And I got by, you know. I ended up getting 2 degrees after that. But one of them's in beer. One of them's in food. So, I mean, but I went to college twice. I went to San Diego State, and then I went to Scottsdale Culinary Institute.
Was that difficult for you? Like, just to concentrate still, even though it was something that you were interested in, or was it easier? Because I have the ADD too. That's exactly what you just described.
At times it was good. At times it was bad. It just depends on what I'm doing.
Depends on what you.
And it depends on if there's a squirrel running in front of me when I'm trying to concentrate.
So stupid. Why on earth did you and I decide to do a podcast together? Because both of us are going to get up and walk away at some point. Just like start. Oh, I was going to vacuum shit.
I mean, let's just say what this podcast is. This is just basically our conversations when we talk on the phone.
Basically.
It's is literally how every conversation goes. It could be an hour. It could be 10 minutes. It could be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we just figured, why not just see each other in person and do it? And there we are. Like I said, I don't care if anyone watches.
I think we solve the world's problems for each other. I mean, why not offer that service to the rest of the world? So.
Sure. If I solve someone's problem, hit me up. I want to know. But yeah, I don't think we have to keep it long today. Where are we at? 45 minutes?
No, we're at 45 minutes. That's
I got a
pretty good spot.
Perfect name for this episode too.
What do you want to call it?
Check your head.
Check your head. Okay, I'm going to change the title on it because I put I'd like to thank my therapist, but check your head is way better.
Oh, okay, that's
way better. No, check your head is way better.
So
what do you got on?
Oh, what do you got?
I got Darth Vader and Stormtroopers taking a selfie in front of Han Solo and Carbonite.
I got Pee Wee Herman with tape.
Nice. God bless your soul, brother. All right, man. So probably a couple weeks before we can do this again. We got a little bit of a busy schedule coming up.
Yeah. If we have any viewers out there who want to put in any comments, what do you want to talk
Questions? Or tell me what I fucked up this week. I'm
sure. If you actually get this far into this without shutting it off, tell us what we can talk about, because I basically just pull this stuff out of my ass. Jim likes to be. Here's the difference between me and him. He likes to be prepared and have notes and this, that, and the other. Me, I have nothing prepared.
No.
I don't even know what I'm going to say until he says, until it hits one.
No notes, which is what's been getting me into trouble, saying things that are completely out of my ass. Yeah. You
I don't know about it. I ain't going to talk about it.
Bible. If you're going to talk about the Bible, don't misquote it. It's just, don't attribute something to the Bible that isn't the Bible, because people are going to. That's a rough one, dude. That's a tough one.
You're going to have to get McClellan to watch it to even know. He would be the only one that would know you're wrong.
This is true. All right, man. Good talk today.
Yes, sir. Remember, guys, check your head. Don't go crazy.
Yeah.
Don't stress out.
Don't
breathe and get the help you need.
For real.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. We appreciate you.
All right, brother. Thanks, Jay. Talk to you later,
Bye.
brother. Late.